Welcome to Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas. My name is Doug, and today we're going to make some delicious Christmas cookies just in time for the holidays, so stay tuned. Okay, so let's talk about all the ingredients you're going to need for these delicious Christmas cookies. First of all, you're going to need 1 cup of all-purpose flour, approximately a cup of white granulated sugar. Now, the reason why I say approximately a cup is because if you don't want your cookies to be too sweet, you might want to just cut it down by about 1/4 of a cup. But if you're someone that likes sweet cookies, then keep it a cup. I'm doing 3/4 of a cup. You're going to need 2 egg yolks, so you also need an egg separator. Make sure you have that. And I just have 2 large eggs here. You're going to need 1 stick of butter, which is equal to a 1/2 cup of butter. This is unsalted butter. 1/3 of a cup of ground pecans. So 1/3 of a cup of that. 1 teaspoon of orange zest, 1 teaspoon of lemon zest, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon. So these are going to make some really yummy Christmas cookies. Now, we're going to be using a couple of cookie cutters or forms. So let me show you. Okay, so the first form you're going to need is a round. Okay, this is a cookie round, and it's approximately 3 inches in diameter. So you definitely want to get a cookie round. Now, these cookie presses here, that's going to give a form. These fit perfectly into that round. So when you use your cookie press and then you use your stamp, it's going to give the imprint of a snowflake. And I have 3 different snowflakes because we all know that snowflakes are unique. They're one of a kind. And so we have that. Then we also have a regular cookie cutter of a snowflake that looks like this. Okay, so this is again approximately a 3-inch cookie cutter. Now, for our icing that we're going to make, we're going to be using about 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. You're going to need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice and also egg white. Now, you can use the egg white from here. You probably won't use all the egg white, so egg white from about 1 egg or so, and this is 2 eggs. So you just want to use a little less of that egg white that you're going to have from those 2 eggs. So this way we're not wasting anything either. And we also have some dragees that look like this, and dragees are like sprinkles, and they're candy edible, and they're silvery. Look how pretty those are. So these have this one that I got off of Amazon has a variety of sizes. So I just picked out pretty much the real small ones because I think they're going to look the prettiest on this cookie cutter. We might put them on these too, the stamp one. So we'll see. All right, we'll play around with it. All right, you ready to make some cookies with me? Let's start baking. Okay, so we're back. So the very first thing we want to do is we're going to crack our eggs. So remember, you need an egg separator. Okay, so here is 1 egg. Sometimes they're a little bit stubborn. Okay, there's 1. And here's the second one. This one did a lot better. All right, so there's our 2 egg yolks, and here's our egg white for our icing later on. All right, so let me put that over there. All right, so on a board, You can use a pastry board. I just have a wooden board here. I got my flour. Don't forget this is 1 cup of flour. And I'm going to mix my sugar with the flour. And also the nuts. And what I want to do is just mix it with my hands like this. And I'm going to make sort of like a mound. Okay, but you want to make sure it's mixed. I'm going to make a mound. And then I'm going to make a well. So you make so almost like a volcano. So make a mound and then a well. And then we're going to put our eggs. Then we're going to put our eggs in here. So hopefully you can see that. I'll try to do a close-up. And then we want to start adding our zest. This is our lemon zest. I'm going to add our lemon zest to that yolk. Our orange zest to that yolk. And I love lemon and orange. It just says Christmas to me. And cinnamon, of course. This is ground cinnamon, 1 teaspoon. And then what we're going to do is we're going to get our butter. And I'm going to cut my butter and put it into the flour mixture here. So just like that, just cut little pieces. Okay, so we have our flour mound. Then we made a well. Then we added our egg yolks to that well. Then we added our lemon zest, orange zest, and our cinnamon. And then we just cut our butter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to knead the dough with our hands. Always make sure your hands are clean when you are baking or cooking. And we're just going to knead it with our hands. Now, for people that are new to baking or new to cooking, my advice to y'all is to always be relaxed the best you can. Sometimes we get nervous. I know I used to work with somebody that said, well, I don't like to cook or I don't like to bake because I get really nervous that I'm going to do it wrong and blah, blah, blah. And you know what? If you do it wrong, it's okay. Don't worry about it. That this is learning, just like I used to teach my students. You can't always expect to be perfect at everything you do. But when you try and you practice, that's how you get better. So, once again, just try your best, okay? So you can see how this is coming along. And notice that I also have a towel underneath the board. That's so that the board does not go moving all over the place. Sometimes I forget to do that. But you can see how we're making our dough. And we want to keep kneading our dough until the dough is smooth. All right. Now, if you see your dough is a little sticky, Like maybe because of the, it's on the board and stuff, all you do is just add some more flour. Adding a little bit more flour is not going to hurt it. You don't want to add a whole cup, but just a little bit of flour is going to make it perfect. And as you can see, take a look at how this is turning out. This is exactly what we want. So then when you start kneading it, as you can see, it's taking form, right? So grab a little flour, just on my surface here, and spread it out a little bit, and then watch how we're going to knead it. So I'm using the palm of my hand, and we are just kneading that dough using the palm of your hand. So you pick it up with your fingers, you knead with the palm of your hand like that. This is looking, and it smells so good, guys. Oh my gosh, I wish you could smell this. See, I love Christmas time. Baking and cooking. Now, this recipe for these cookies are not in my cookbook that's coming out. So, you guys are special. On YouTube, you get this recipe in addition to all those other wonderful recipes that I'm going to have in my cookbook that's coming out. In fact, probably our next video is going to be our book launching video. So, and I'll give you all information about how to order it and what's inside it and all that stuff. Okay. Now this dough, wow, this dough looks so good. All right. So you can see this dough right here. I'm going to show you up close. This dough is nice and smooth. Look at that. It's nice and smooth. That's exactly what you want. We're going to wrap it in some handy wrap or plastic wrap, and then put it in the refrigerator and leave it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes. We're going to let it rest, and then we're going to start to roll it out and make our delicious, yummy cookies. All right, stay tuned. Okay, so while our dough is in the refrigerator, we're going to preheat our oven to 350 degrees, and we're going to begin working on our icing. So what do we need? Well, I have a bowl here. We need 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. We're going to use about 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. This is from a real lemon. Okay, we're going to add most of that egg white, not all of it. You really want about 1 egg white or so. A little bit more is okay. And then we're going to just mix that. And let me show you the consistency. So that is the consistency you should have for your icing. All right, just going to mix that a little bit more. Give it a little taste. It's yummy. Very good. Yay. I'm going to mix it just a little bit more. All right, so now what we want to do is going to get a wet paper towel, and we're going to put it on top of this until we roll out our cookies and bake them. And so I'm just going to put a wet paper towel over this, and then we're going to bake our cookies 350 degrees for about 10 minutes. And then once they cool, then we're going to ice our cookies. The reason why I use a wet paper towel is because we don't want the icing to harden. All right, so we're going to just keep that moist like that, put it off to the side. We're going to start rolling out our cookies. You also want to get some flour and put it on your rolling pin. All right, make sure your rolling pin is floured. And then we're going to start rolling out our dough. And we want it to be approximately 1/8 of an inch thick. So you want it less than 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to start using my cookie cutter. And I also have a baking pan here with some Silpat. So now I'm just going to get my dough, put it together, and roll it out again. We're going to use the other cookie cutter this time. So here's our other cookie cutter. This is our snowflake. I'm going to do a bunch of these. That just came out really nicely. You just get a spatula, make sure it has flour, and then you're able to put it on your tray. Okay, I think I'm just going to do this for now. All right, so 350 degrees, you're going to bake them for around 10 minutes. We have extra dough, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this back into the refrigerator so it gets a little cool. So with your extra dough, if you only have 2 sheets or if you're doing 2 sheets at a time, that's what you want to do. And then we'll continue making more cookies. Stay tuned. You could just do something like this. You roll out your dough, and you might have to get a little help. Make sure it's well floured. And when it comes out, you can see the snowflake pattern. This one got a little damaged there. We could always just take that part off here, like that. Okay, so you can see the snowflake pattern. I personally like these better. Because you can decorate them better. But I just wanted to show you these in case you were interested in the stamps. We're back. So these are cooling down. We're on the wire rack, letting it cool. Now, if you don't have a piping bag, don't worry. You can use a plastic baggie. Just snip the end, the corner, very small little cut there. And then what you're going to do is you're going to add your icing in the baggie. Always gets messy, so try your best to not get it so messy. Okay. And where did I cut? Right there. So what you want to do is you're going to just pipe it. You could do it however you want. I'm just going across like that on my snowflake. See how easy that is? And then on this one, I don't know, just do little dots. However you want to do it. It's a snowflake. Because you see how easy it is to use the plastic baggie. And then you get your dragees. These are the dragees. You have to put these on when the icing is not hard, of course. So just put your dragees on. Dragee. And it makes it look really pretty. I'm going to do a big one in the middle, or a larger one. Like that. Look how pretty that looks. I'll do a close-up for you. but that's all you do. So I'm going to continue decorating my cookies here, and we'll have a taste test. And I hope you try this recipe. It's super yummy, and they look really pretty. Stay tuned. Well, they are done, and I cannot wait to take a bite. So good. I love the slight lemon in the icing, in the cookie, the orange flavor. Really yummy cookie. The jaragues make it look really pretty. I hope you enjoy the recipe. Thank you so much for joining us on Happy Healthy Living with Yvonne Douglas today. Remember, if you want that homey vibe, you need to subscribe, and please give this video a like. Until next time, my friends, happy healthy living. Bye-bye.